I'm going to go ahead and pause the music now, and I'm going to get started. I want to start off by saying thank you for joining me this evening with this Zoom live web meeting on Money Matters 101. The primary goal of Money Matters is to empower and educate those who might have young people in their households or know of persons with young people in their households to share this kind of information with them on how to build sustaining wealth. That is something that is been seemed to have been lost within our families. Is very little conversations are happening in the home on how to actually build generational wealth and how to sustain that. And so that's the purpose of Money Matters 101. I am by no stretch of the imagination an expert in the field, though I do have a bit of a colorful background when it comes to finances and investing. In my first live, I shared my beginnings was with Merrill Lynch in New York. I actually worked in the sales department, and that's where I learned about the stock market and trading on the stock market. And for those that may already be familiar with it, and you certainly understand that there is a difference between trading on the stock market and actually investing in the stock market. So I'm focusing on the investing piece, what that looks like, investing in the market. And so can everybody hear me clearly? Go ahead and just type yes in the chat box so that I'm making a good connect as I move forward. Can everyone hear me okay? Outstanding. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and jump right in and let you take a look at one of the investment platforms that I use that I'm very comfortable with, and that's the E-Trade platform. I'm very comfortable with this platform. I want to navigate through some of the features of the platform and show you some of the things that I look at when I am making a decision on what stock interests me. And so with that being said, I want to start off here in the transactions section. This is where I get to see the history of my purchases. And so I want to go back a little further than what it is currently showing. So let me go back. Let's see. Nope. Notice I didn't do anything January to March. So, and this is especially important for what I want others to see is that I have not been doing this for a long time. Now, I'm reacquainted myself with the stock market. There was a period of time where I was very active in the market, and then I was homeless for a while and jobless for a while. And so, of course, thank goodness I had some good investments that got me through those hard times. And so I recently just reacclimated myself to the market again. And as you can see, May 4th is when I actually did my first transaction. That was May 4th, 2020. At that time, I had in my investment portfolio $64. That's what I had. I had $64, and you can see I did a few things here. I did some direct money transfers into my investment portfolio, and I bought some shares of stocks. So what I want to point out as I go back to this complete view is I started off, as you see, a few months ago with $64. And as you can see right now, my net assets are totaling $840 and some change. That's over a period of just a few short months. And I think that that's pretty interesting, especially considering I am actually investing very conservatively. You know, a lot of people are fearful of the stock market because of this up and down movement, and they are more fearful of losing money than actually gaining money. And so I am a very conservative investor. I don't just buy a stock for the sake of buying a stock. So I want to jump over here to the balances because that will help to give a good description of what happened over a period of what, 4 months maybe now. April I started. Yeah, I'm in my third month, going into the fourth month. So right now, this is my current balance. As and my the value of my stocks right now, as of the close of the business, the market day on the 24th, and in real time, the value is about $778. And the remaining cash available for investment, I have about $61.84. Now, some people say, "Oh, that ain't no money." Well, I started off with $64, right? And stock buying, does not require a whole lot of money. You can get started right where you are, as you can see from that description right there. I didn't have a whole lot, but what I did have, I put it to work. So what I did was I built me a watch list, right? And there were some stocks that I was looking at the companies, and I was interested in the companies. And I said, well, let me see, how are these companies performing? Now, I started off with just two stocks on my watch list. Now, these are stocks that I have not yet purchased because I'm actually watching how their stocks perform before I make a decision. I don't make rash decisions when it comes to my money. Now, some people, they argue that they don't have no extra money to do anything of this sort. But then when you ask them where they're putting their monies, they're burning holes in their pockets, because see, for the most part, people are consumers. They are accustomed to spending money for a product, a good, a service, or a meal, and that's all they get. That money don't do no more for them. It does something for somebody else, right? And so part of my Money Matters 101 is trying to help young people in particular to start thinking like investors instead of consumers. As a consumer, we're giving money out and we're not getting much in return other than the product, the good, or the service. And that's about it. And then our money no longer works for us, but it works for someone else. So as you can see, there's a variety of different types of stocks on here that I am actually watching. Some of them, if you can look at and see the prices over here, their last price, like this one here, this is Ford. Now, I'm a Ford owner, so certainly I want to see how they're doing. Right now, their stock is $6.88 a share. That's pretty cool, you know. Now, there's some big earners up here that I'm really looking at. And that would be, let me see if I can find it. This one right here, APTV. Right now, their last price was $82.25. When I added them to my watch list back in May, as you can see here, May 13th, the stock was $60.42. Now, would you agree that despite these red here, that's some pretty significant growth as far as what it costs to buy a share of that stock? Would you say that that's a positive movement? Absolutely. What that equates to is about 36.13% movement in the positive direction. Those are the things that I look at. Not the only thing, but that is one of the things that I look at. Now, just to give you an idea how I review a stock. So E-Trade allows for me to pull that individual stock up, right? And so some would say, well, what company is that? Well, I can go down here and it'll tell me the overview of the company. Used to be called Delphi Automotive PLC, and they're actually a technology company. Now, here's the reason why I'm looking at this stock. because of the advancements in technology right now with 5G, artificial intelligence, digital face imaging, these are the technologies that are going to take off like a skyrocket here in the next 2, 3, maybe 4 years. They are going to blow up. And so I'm looking at what they're doing now, and so that I can be on the front end when that happens, because it's going to happen. There's no question about it, right? So one of the things that I look at is right over here. Take a look at this here chart, okay? Now this chart here kind of gives me some history. Now, you know, most of stock buying is predictive buying. You're trying to figure out whether or not the stock is going to do well. There's nothing saying absolutely that it will. So there is some risk. Absolutely, there is, right? But what I do is I take a 5-day period. I look at how that stock did over a 5-day period, and I kind of track its movement. So right here at the very edge where you see my pointer, that stock actually reached a high of $81.83, and then it closed at 80. Let me go back over here. It closed at $81 even. So it opened at 81.46. It reached a high of 81.83. It had a low throughout the day of 80.90, and then it closed at $81, right? That was 5 days ago. So then I've kind of scrolled through and see the price changes to see how this stock is performing. Now I noticed that in a 24-hour period, that stock peaked at $83.45 at close. So I make note of that. Then I said, okay, let me see what happened the next 24 hours. Now the next 24 hours, it looked like it decreased, which it did, down to $81. That's not a huge decrease. Would you agree? Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you agree. I don't think there's a thumbs down, right? So, and I follow it through for those 5 days to see. So as you can see, this stock kind of rides the roller coaster. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, right? Now, when it's going up, what's happening to those who have shares of this stock? They're making some money, right? And when it goes down, it dips, they lose a little bit of money, right? And this is what makes people nervous, is when they start losing a little bit of money. They say, oh my God, this stock is going to crash. Let me sell it now, right? No, I say hold on to it, right? Because when I do a 1 month view, now this 1 month view spreads it out and it gives me another picture of the potential of how this stock is going to perform. I see a raised hand. If you got a question, go ahead and type it in, I think, the chat box, or unmute your mic so you can ask your question. That'll work for me. We got a few enough people that we can have a discussion. So Nathaniel, if you go ahead and unmute your mic, or I'll unmute it for you. Let's see. There you go. All right, go ahead, ask your question.
I was just gonna ask, how long do you monitor before you decide to pull the trigger, whether to buy or trade?
Now, it depends on the stock. As you can see from my watch list, I showed where the time frame that I actually added it to my watch list. And so there has been a few that was on my watch list that within a week's time, I went on and pulled the trigger because I saw steady movement. Like here's a good example right here that for this stock now, because this stock is a little more pricey than my conservative purchases, I tend to take a little bit longer with the pricey ones because I really want to see how they're performing. So in the 1 month view, to give you an example, 1 month ago today, right, that stock traded, it closed at $74.62. So those that purchased it at 80 something dollars, they lost some money, right? Now, this is the strategy. This is one of the strategies that Warren Buffett uses and continues to use. He used this when the stock market crashed way back when. This is what amassed his wealth. Everybody else panicked when the stock market crashed and they sold all their stocks for fear of losing all their money. What Warren Buffett did was he bought up as many stocks as he can when it hit rock bottom. And then he held on to them because he believed that if not all of the stocks that he purchased, a good number of them would actually bounce back. And that's where the risk factor comes in, to where you have to be comfortable with some risk. And what this does for me, when I do a 1 month view, I'm looking at a month ago today, this stock closed at $74.62, right? As it got close to the end of the month, you see right here where my pointer is, that tall peak right there, it was at $77.92. Now that's hopeful. That's hopeful, right? But then what happened as we come into a new month? It drops back down considerably, right? Now there's a lot of factors that go into play that determines how a stock will perform. A lot of it has to do with the news media. A lot of it has to do with the economy. A lot of it has to do with where the company is in their quarter before they're releasing their gains. So all of that plays into the fluctuation of the stock's price. But notice this, within the first week, the first few days of the month of July, what happened? Do you see that steady climb? If you see that, give me a thumbs up. During the first few days of July, there's a steady climb, right? Now, a little something to get excited with. If you bought it right here, close to the end of June, when it was at its lowest for the month of June at $74.13, you made some money right here, and then you lost a little bit of money. You didn't lose all of it, you lost a little. But then what happens come June 2nd up to June 6th? It increases significantly to $78.43 at the close. But notice this high up here at $80.23. That means that some people made some money, right? Now, for the next 4 days, what do we see? We see another dip, right? But notice it didn't go all the way back down. And so this is where the risk factor comes into play. How much are you willing to risk? You know, you're going to lose some and then you're going to gain some. The idea is to gain more than you lose, right? So if you notice, as we start approaching midway through the month of July, I wonder, do you see what I see? Somebody unmute their mics and tell me, what do you think you see from the 9th up to the 15th as we are approaching the middle of July? What do you see?
A large growth.
You see a large growth, right? Over a period of how many days? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 days of consistent growth. You see that? Now, the next few days, watch this now. The next few days, we see some slight growth, some slight decrease, slight growth, slight decrease, a little bit more growth. And so here we are at the day today, Friday, it closed at $82.25. So now unmute yourselves and tell me, what do you think I'm looking to see happen at this point?
Honestly,
yes.
My prediction would be seeing it drop again.
Okay. Anybody else? What's your prediction? What do you predict would be the next thing to happen moving forward come Monday when the market opens back up?
I think it's going to increase.
You think it's going to increase? Okay. Anyone else?
I think it's going to stay pretty level where it's at.
You think it's going to stay level, right? So now here's what I do, right? Because those are the questions that I ask myself. I want to see where is this market's performance consistent. So some consistency, something that I can gauge that it has the potential to repeat that cycle. So I go to my 3 months. Now, what does my 3 months tell me? My 3 months tells me that in the month of May, that was a rough month, right? And then we get to the month of June. That was a fairly decent month come June. There was some uncertainties there going into July. And what do I see happening in July? I see this stock kind of leveling out, right? I see this stock leveling out. So now I can do one of two things at this point, which is where I'm almost at. I can decide to continue to monitor it, right, and not pull the trigger, or I can pull the trigger right now. But if I pull the trigger right now, I have to be willing to lose $82.25 a share. And that's fine if I make that decision. So before I do on a stock like that, I want to see its performance over a 6-month period. Now, what do I see? I see some consistency. If you see the same thing I do, so in the beginning of the year, it appears that this stock performed well until the first quarter. The first reporting quarter, there was a big dip in that market. And so the news kind of lets me know what was going on with this company or with the economy that was a factor in that big dip. What caused that? Now, you know, with the current POTUS, there's a lot of instability and uncertainty with the economy, because from day to day, you don't know what's going to come out this man's mouth. You just don't know. And unfortunately, investors are listening intently to what's coming out of his mouth, and it's driving how they invest in the market. And so not every investor has the same strategy. I tend to lean towards Warren Buffett's strategy simply because this is his approach, and I'm taking the same approach. And I see your hand, Delora. Feel free to ask your question.
I'm glad you mentioned the point about what comes out of the mouth of the current leader of the United States, because many people may have been invested in, for example, the Goya company.
Yes.
And after the Goya company made a stance on who they support and how they're grateful for what, 45 has done or invested in them or whatever they invested in him, a lot of people reacted in different ways. And I'm not sure exactly, because I never actually took the time to look up what Goya is doing. Right. But I know so many people that the Goya company is such a staple for almost everything that we eat and buy. Like the seasonings I put in my food I love adobo. I mean, the beans, the key beans. It's just like, then I'm like, okay, well, I've never not consumed Goya products. And now it's making me think like, well, maybe if I don't support what they're supporting, I should look into another company to provide me with my seasoning and my beans and whatever. Absolutely. And so that could be something to look at as far as if Goya's stock is going to go down, and if other companies that sell similar products to Goya will start to rise. So I'm just kind of curious as to what Goya is looking at.
Absolutely.
Looking like right now.
In fact, right now, Goya is trying to do damage control right now. When Goya's CEO and owner made that statement, he lost just about the entire Latino and Hispanic community that supported his products. And they are now actually looking for other suppliers to purchase their seasonings and food items from. They are just totally disappointed with this statement. And most major corporations, the owners and CEOs, do not publicize their political attachments for that very reason, because they want to be able to play both sides of the fence, you know? And so that was, in many people's opinion, that was a foolish move on the part of the CEO of Goya to publicize his stance politically. By doing so, he hurt the company. He has. And so it has affected their stock, right? So that is one of the factors, one of the leading factors is whatever is coming out of the POTUS mouth, it is determining how investors interact with the market, right? So when I look at this 6-month period, the first quarter, we see a huge dip. And going into the second quarter, it becomes to look more favorable for this particular company. As we are approaching, we're about midway into the second quarter going into the third quarter, I see some stability there. Okay, so that is one that I'm going to continue to monitor, because actually, let me see if I did what I intended to do. With that one, I intended to set a limit, and if it hit that limit, then I would have the green light, as my son Nathaniel says, to pull the trigger. So you see those flags next to certain stocks? Like that right there. Oh, let me go back to the one that we were just looking at. Okay, that was this one here, right? So I believe I did set a limit to alert me, yes. So you see where it says set alert? So I set an alert that when it reaches $82 per share, to alert me that it is there, right? Because between 82 and 69, I'm willing to purchase. Now, if it goes above 82, I'm not going to buy yet. I'm gonna hold my position. I'm gonna hold my position. But when it drops down below 82, guess what's going to happen? Go ahead, unmute your mics and give me your response. What do you think I'm going to do when it drops below $82 per share?
Well, you'll buy.
Absolutely.
It'll probably go back up too after that.
Because what it has shown me when I look at that 3 month, 6 month, and I actually did look at a year projection, it has shown me that this stock tends to perform well. It has resiliency. Well, thank you very much. They just sent me a nice little message, said they removed the 40-minute limit. Thank you, right? So it shows me that it has the potential to actually bounce back and continue to perform well. So that's going to be one that will move from my watch list to my actual portfolio when I buy some shares, which I'm going to do, okay? So now let's go to my portfolio and take a look at my portfolio. I have about maybe 16 stocks in there, I believe, in my portfolio that I intend to do just like Warren Buffett. I don't buy a stock that I am not prepared to keep for 10 years. That's right. I intend to keep it for 10 years. So all of these stocks that you see right now, and I started off with just one stock, one share a few months ago, and it is continuing to grow, as you can see. Now, I want us to take a look at this stock with the symbol FUV, this stock right here. Now, I purchased this stock at $2.33 a share. I bought 8 shares. That's not a whole lot of money, wouldn't you agree?
Nah, not at all.
Not at all. That's not a lot of money, right?
It's
Now,
like $17, $20.
yeah, it's now trading at $5.89 a share. So I have made $28.40 on that stock alone. look at the increase. This is what I want you to see. That's my total gain for that stock. 151% gain on that one stock. This is where, if you understand what you're looking at, this is where your risk is minimized by having a diversified portfolio. So whereas some stock, say again?
Increase on NVAX.
Say again?
I see a large gain on NVAX, 228.
Yes. Now, do you see what I paid? $40. That's what I paid.
Selling now at 133. That's crazy.
I made $186 on that one stock.
Nice.
Do you think that put a smile on my face like what you see right now?
Yeah, baby.
Now, so people see this right here. They see the red. You see this here, the day's gain. It lost 11.32% or $11.32. That was by the close of the market on Friday. That's one day, right? So, okay, so it went down $11. But I paid $40 per share. I bought 2 shares, so I spent about $81. And now, today, I'm sitting on $267 on that stock. I think that was a good day.
I would agree.
You would agree? So guess what's going to happen? Right now, FUV is trading at 589, okay? And when I look at FUV, what's happening right now with FUV, looking at my chart, okay, if you see what I see, Friday, this is where it closed out at. What do you see happening right here?
Drop a little. Oh no, it dropped and then went back up. I see going up on Friday.
It's starting to climb, right?
Yeah.
Come Monday morning, opening market, I want to be in position to do what?
Buy more?
Exactly. So I'm not going to wait for Monday. I'm not going to wait for Monday. So what I'm going to do right now, while the last price is showing at $5.61, I'm going to buy a couple of shares. That's not a whole lot, right? But I'm going to buy it at market, because when the market opens, I want to catch it at that market opening price, right? So I'm going to spend $11.78. Do you think that's going to break my piggy bank?
No.
If that breaks my piggy bank, I'm in bad shape. Would you agree? I'm in bad shape if that breaks my piggy bank. Yeah. This is
your
where
portfolio looks really good too compared to gains and losses.
Absolutely. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you my bottom line. And that's what I look at to let me know.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
That my money is working for me. So I placed that order. Now, I haven't actually bought the shares yet, but when the market opens, if it is still trading, if it opens at $5.62, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to end up with 2 more shares, right? Which is fairly low because it's still on the climb. It's still climbing, right? All right, so let's go back to my portfolio. Now, what I did to prepare for this is I simply transferred $50 from my checking account into my investment account so that I would have some investment money. I selected $50 this pay period because I said, you know what? I could stand to lose $50. Some weeks I could only stand to lose $25, you know? And that's the beauty of it, is that I get to determine, you know, how much am I willing to put at risk, you know? All right, so when we go down here, this is my bottom line numbers here. Okay, so presently I have $61.84 available to me to invest. I've already used $11 of that. Okay. In terms of what I paid for the stocks that you see in my portfolio from beginning to date, I paid a little over $524. How much did I lose at the end of the day, Friday? $13. Would you say that I had a decent 3 or 4 months?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Right?
For sure.
Yeah. So by having a diversified portfolio, and I'm still diversifying my portfolio, where some stocks don't do as well, the others that do well, they compensate for those stocks that don't do so good. So I still come out ahead. As you can see, my total gain overall is I made $254.35 off of my $524 investment. I think that's pretty decent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a 48.50% increase of my money. So this is what I want, people to see who are not comfortable with investing in the stock market. And like I said, I focus on the investing. And that's why I say I don't buy a stock that I'm not prepared to hold for at least 10 years.
That's a long time.
Yes, it is. That's a long time to make some money.
Now, I do have a question. Would you ever consider purchasing anything, maybe holding less than those years, like
Yes.
5 years or 3 years?
Yes, I am, and I do consider that when I see a stock perform rather quickly, but it doesn't show me the potential to have long-lasting gains, yeah, I'll jump in and jump out.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's That's what I look
don't.
into, the day trades.
Yeah,
New
yeah. I don't
companies versus-
limit myself, but my long-term goal is long-term investment. You see.
Gotcha.
Right. And so the way you offset or minimize your risk factor is by diversifying your portfolio. Because if you notice, I also have silver. Now, when I bought 9 shares of silver, it was trading at a little over $16 a share. And I bought 9 shares all at one time and didn't buy any more, right? But is now trading at $22 a share as of the close of Friday. I've seen a gain of $48 total with an increase of 32.22%. And I now have $198 worth of silver. That's not bad. So that's going to that would definitely be one that I will hold on to indefinitely, because between gold, silver, and platinum, those are your precious metals that retain its value. And
Right.
And gold is going up. Now, one of my other investment platforms, I purchased physical gold in small increments. And so gold is going up. And so I've got a couple of gold stock. This is a gold stock right here. Now, I want you to see this gold stock. I bought 2 shares at $9.95. I bought 2 shares. It is now trading at $10.10 as of the close of market Friday. So I gained 30 cents. Now, 30 cents more than what I had before, to me, is a good gain. It's a good gain, And so I now have $20 worth of gold there. This one here, the GLDM, that's another gold stock. When I bought that one, it was a little over $17 a share. It's now trading at almost $19 a share. So I got $1.09 gain there. And so those are going to be long hold stock products. I'm not going to sell those right away. I'm going to hold those for a while. Now, I'm going to buy another stock while we up here. Let me go up here and put the stock symbol in. Now, if you don't know a stock symbol, you know that you can actually go online and type in the name of the company, what is the stock symbol, the name of the company, and it'll pop up. So this one here, AeroGrow International, right? Now, right now, I think I'm getting in on this one at the right time. Let me tell you who Aero is. Aero Grow International is a developer, marketer, direct seller, and wholesaler of indoor garden systems. Who do you think right now in the arena of
Marijuana.
agriculture? Huh?
Marijuana.
There you go. There you go. Make no
Oh,
mistake.
yeah.
Make no mistake about it. They are going to need what this company has. So what does that do for this company as more marijuana growers come on the scene?
Yeah, I'm invested largely in marijuana growth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So right now, as you can see, this stock is at a low of $3.18. Well, guess what I'm going to do?
I'm about to do the same thing.
Absolutely, because it has the potential to bounce back, and it's already starting to make its ascend, right? So I'm going to get me 5 shares of this at $3.18. Am I spending a whole lot of money? Yes, Delora, go ahead, ask your question.
I just have a question. I don't know a whole lot about Forex, but a lot of people keep like asking me, hey, I saw this presentation about Forex. I know it has something to do with exchanging, stocks and things like that.
Yes,
Are you familiar with Forex?
I am somewhat familiar with it in that I understand the concept. I have not yet done my due diligence on whether or not I would get involved in Forex, because Forex does primarily deal with foreign exchange markets.
It's a lot of background noise or some kind of static. You said they deal with what now?
Yeah, hold on one moment. I think it's coming from there. All right. So Forex primarily deals with the foreign exchange market. You're investing in foreign products that do not show up on the U.S. trade markets. Did you catch that?
Yes. Okay.
Right. So I have not yet done my due diligence on Forex. I understand the concept, and I am interested in trading on Forex. And Forex is just like the Dow, the Nasdaq, the S&P, your other U.S. markets. It's just they termed it Forex, which is short for foreign exchange. If that makes any sense for you.
Thank you.
I have a question. Is that something that's difficult to necessarily gravitate to, or is it, or you haven't experienced that yet?
I have not experienced trading or buying on the Forex platform. I've not experienced it firsthand yet. I know that there are a few of your apps that like Robinhood and Acorn. I think even Cash App is trying to get involved in it also. That allows for you to participate on the foreign exchange market for minimal amounts of money. I've not experienced it firsthand yet, and like I said, and that's only because I've not yet done my due diligence on the foreign exchange market itself. But once I've done my due diligence, I do intend on investing in some foreign products. I do intend on investing in some foreign stocks. Absolutely.
Okay, understand.
Now, my apprehension right now is because of POTUS. that is my apprehension, because the two of the biggest foreign traders that he is destroying our relationship with, who are the actual leaders on the foreign exchange market. Yeah, it's caused it to be somewhat very unstable and questionable. And now that's just my personal opinion based on what I've been following thus far in the business arena. So he kind of really hurt us real bad with Mexico and with China now. As you know, a great deal of our trades are with them too.
Right. Yeah. Because I deal with that on a regular basis with,
Yeah.
international shipping and things like that. So
Yes. And so that
I
has
see that
not,
a lot.
yeah, it has caused the foreign exchange market to be quite unstable, which is why they're trying to drive traffic to it, because that really what causes a market to be productive is the more traffic that you can drive to it. And so right now, what my focus has been is I'm capitalizing on those U.S. markets that trade on the U.S. markets that are at affordable prices. Let's see here. Okay, so I got it for market. Okay. Now this one here actually trades as a see, the price type you specified is not allowed for orders on OTC, bulletin board, pink sheet, non-equity, and certain other securities. Please consider entering as a limit order. No problem. So if you ever run into that, don't get nervous. Okay, they're not telling you can't buy. They're just saying that you can't buy it as an OTC, over-the-counter product, right? So instead of me buying it here as market, I have to do it as a limit. You see that? So when I do it as a limit, let's see, I have to set a limit price. So now what I'm saying to them is that it's trading at, what was that? $3.18 a share. I'm going to set my limit at $4. Okay. So what I'm saying is that when the market opens on Monday, if this stock is no longer trading at $3.18 a share or $3.19 a share, and let's say it climbed up a little bit by the open of the market, I'm willing to still buy it so long as it does not pass $4 a share. Make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense to you. Okay, so occasionally if you run into that with a particular stock where it can't be traded as an OTC and they want you to trade it as a limit, that's what they're asking you to do. They're asking you to set your purchase limit. How much are you willing to pay for that stock should it actually increase by the time the market opens? So I set mine at $4, right? And so I'm going to put that order in. Now I'm getting ready to place a marketable order that's at least 20% greater than the current ask price. And that's fine. That's fine, right? So I'm going to place that order. And now it has been placed. Now come Monday, one of two things may happen. When the market opens, it may still be trading at or close to $3.19, and I will have purchased me 5 shares, or it would have exceeded the $4 limit that I set, and then that purchase won't go through. Okay, and that's fine. That's okay. You know, I want people to understand that buying and investing on the stock market can be fun. It really can be when you take away a lot of the fears. When you move the fears out of the way, you set a limit on what you are willing to risk. You know that if you've taken care of your other financial obligations, you got some disposable income or some discretionary income. You say, you know what? I was going to burn this just hanging out, right? So let me put it to work for me. And I might lose some of it, and then I may not, right? It becomes fun at that point for me. Okay, so I'm going to do one more purchase. Let's go back here to my portfolio. Hello, Sandra. How are you? Welcome to the live here. Glad to have you. If you want to add to the discussion, I am allowing for anyone to add to the discussion. Certainly, I'm no expert and I do not have all of the knowledge. And so if there's something that you can add to the discussion, feel free to do so. Just unmute yourself, raise your hand, and come on and chime on in. Okay. All right. So one more. Now this one is going to really blow you away. I did a little bit of research on this one. Let me put this symbol in. I don't know if you even heard of this, and I don't even know if I can actually do it on this platform. Acorn Incorporated. Have you ever heard of Acorn? Thumbs up if you've heard of Acorn. Now, I know you're probably thinking about the app, right? So Acorn is a pharmaceutical company. Did you know that?
Nope, I was thinking about the app.
I know you were. The app is ACORN. This one is AKORN. Now they are producers of both brand name and generic pharmaceuticals, to include supplements as well. So, and they do inhalants and all that stuff, right? So I'm going to get a few of their stock. The reason why, do you see this price right here? Do you see that price? Now,
That's insane.
Would you consider that a huge risk, or little to no risk?
I don't know if I can afford 22 cents.
22 cents. Oh my God! I'm gonna have to borrow it from somebody. Okay, so guess what I'm going to do? Because
buy a lot of that.
Now look at this chart right quick. This is what I did. I took a look at the chart, and you know how I review a chart, right? Okay, so this is the 5-day chart leading into Friday. I saw a big dip. I was like, oh, what's going on, right? So I jumped up here to 3 months, and I said, oh, okay, here's what's happening. So I noticed that right about here, it peaked, right? And then it came back down. When I looked at the 9-month, I said, oh, okay, it is riding low on a steady course. Now, do you think that this particular stock has the potential to bounce back? Because it's almost bottomed out. Do you think that it has the potential to bounce back? Thumbs up if you think this stock has the potential to bounce back. Okay. Sandra says yes. Anybody else? Thumbs up if you think this stock has the potential to bounce back. All right. So let's take a look at a 1-year projection of this stock. Well, let's do a 1-year projection. So here's how I look at it. This is how I read it. During the fall, going into the winter months, this stock seemed to perform very well. Why do you think that is true for this company's stock? The fall to the winter. Go ahead and unmute your mics and give me your response. What do you think is happening during the fall going into the winter months that caused this particular stock to perform so well?
I think that they focus mainly on like maybe the flu type symptom drugs.
Okay. Anybody else? That's good.
My bad, I had to take a call. What was the question?
Okay, so during the fall, going into the winter months, this stock performs very well. Going into the summer months, not so well. What do you think is going on?
This is still the Acorn one, right?
No, this one here is this is Acorn. My bad. Yes.
Okay.
What do you think is happening?
Honestly, don't know what's going on there.
There's 2 things that Sandra, you want to chime in before I give it? I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm just jumping in, but
What do you
I
think is
don't even
happening?
see where the stock is. But if it's something that people use, I guess maybe it's something that people use more in the winter months and the summer months.
Okay. You're on the platform. The train is coming in the station. I'm gonna get y'all on this train. You're on the platform. So here's two things that are driving this stock right now. During the fall and winter months is when flus and colds are at their rise. And this company supplies a large amount of the supplies needed for nasal sprays, over-the-counter brand name and generic drugs for colds and flus and things of that sort, right? Even for dry eyes. Wintertime folks suffer immensely with dry eyes, right? Then as we get into the spring and summer, two things happened. Uh, a lot of focus and attention was taken off of the flu and was put where? Corona, the virus, right? And so this company does not participate in the creation of vaccines. So a lot of people stopped investing. There was no traffic going to this company's stock. And so that caused people to start selling their stock because they felt like, uh-oh, this company's stock is getting ready to crash and I don't want to lose all my money. Now, here's where Warren Buffett thinking comes in. Warren Buffett takes a look at stuff like this, right? And he says, okay, everybody is selling because this stock has gone down. Are we going to see another fall and winter?
We should.
Absolutely. Now, so long as we're still alive, right? Because what we do know is that seasons come and go, and they do come around again. That means that people are going to get ill again. People are going to have colds again. People are going to have the flu again. People are going to experience dry eyes again. So while it is at its near rock bottom price, this is an opportune time to buy up as many shares as you like because it has the potential. Now, I can't emphatically say that it will bounce back, but it has the potential to bounce back. So since it is selling at at 22 cents a share, I'm going to see, can I pick up 10 shares with what I have left in my purchase power? I've got $23.11. I started off with $50, remember? And I'm trying to spend up all my $50. So I'm going to try and get me 10 of those shares while it is near rock bottom price. And that's going to cost me $9.16. Let's see. Okay, so here's another one that's saying that I need to consider doing this as a limit order. No problem. Is 22 cents a share going to hurt me? So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to select limit. And I'm going to set my limit. So here's what I'm going to set my limit to. You ready for this? This is going to blow you away.
Hey, don't break your bank now. Don't break the bank.
Don't break the bank, right? I'm going to set my limit if it will let me. It's so weird how these prices have to be entered. Let's see. I definitely won't do that. That would break the bank. You saw that? So it won't let. Okay, there we go. I'm going to set my limit at 25 cents. So come Monday morning when the market opens, I'm hoping that it will still trade at 22 cents a share. if it jumps up Monday morning before my order can be processed, I'm willing to pay up to 25 cents per share. And I still will have a little something left in my investment cash that if I want to buy another stock that is inexpensive, I can do so. So what you've seen me do is you've seen me buy 3 different stocks. Would you say that they were inexpensive?
Well, the last one seemed like it was.
Very much so, right?
I didn't see that one.
Very much so. This is what I've been doing for the past 3 or 4 months, just like what you saw me do right here. This is what I've been doing. The key is the consistency and not being made to feel nervous when you see stuff like this. You see all this red right here? See, that scares the average person because they don't understand how the market works. But because I've diversified my portfolio where some stocks are not doing so well, I have those stocks that are doing well. And that's the key. That really is it. That is the key. Now, of course, the more discretionary monies that you have accessible to you, then the more you can put your money to work for you quicker. Like I said, I'm using a very, very conservative approach. Now, at some point, I don't know when, but at some point, here's what I would like to be able to do. If I can get to it right quick. Let's see. Okay, so back to my watch list, right? Are you all familiar with Tesla?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's Tesla. Tesla is trading at $1,417 a share. That's one share. I'd like to be able to do that at some point. You know, may or may not ever be able to, but I would like to be able to do that. I looked up Warren Buffett's stock for his corporation, Berkshire. What is it called? Man, I can't think of the name. It's right on the tip of my tongue. It's a huge realty conglomerate. Berkshire Hathaway. One share of his stock for Berkshire Hathaway is $250,000. One share. He attracts a particular type investor. You know, so I like staying in my lane. I like doing what I'm able to do. And so, like I said, this is just one of a couple of platforms that I use to put my money to work for me. So I think that in as little as 3 to 4 months, I think I have done so far rather well by diversifying my market through my portfolio as I have done. And so in my next session next week, I think I'm going to do it as a Zoom that way. If you would message me your contact information, I can send you the link direct that way. And that way you can pre-plan your calendar to allow for you to take part in it. Are there any questions? Can I attempt to answer any questions for anybody? Okay, well, if not, if you think of any questions between now and next Saturday around this time, please certainly reach out to me or hold them for the session if you are able to get on. And certainly we want to try to get your questions answered. I appreciate you all taking time out of your busy schedules to participate in this Zoom meeting. I hope that you've gotten something out of it. I hope that it's been a benefit to you. It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the weekend.
Well, thank you.
All right. Love you, Dad.
Thank you, you
Love you,
too.
son.
Love you, Dad. Bye.
Bye bye. Love you.
All right.